ranged from Dunbar, where we would maybe play in front of about 350 people, to Dingwall, where we would play in front of like 30 people. You know, had huge ups and downs, but there was no reasoning for why you got far more people in one place than another. It was very much a swings and roundabouts thing. It was tremendous fun. And in that we had myself, Barbara Dixon, Rab Noakes, Davy Stewart, a guy called Des Haldane, and later on people like Brian Miller came into it. Johnny Boyce was into it for a wee bit. Tam Harvey of the Humble Bums, he was in it, but only for a couple of times. He was never on the big tours or anything like that. Another guy, Noel Farrell, Jimmy Hutchison, the traditional singer, and Artie Trezise, and then later Scylla, and of course, since then, of course, well, you know what's happened to them. I mean, they've become the singing kettle and are famous all over Britain now. But it was strange. I mean, there were one or two people in that show who went on to carve very successful musical careers. Rab Noakes, and of course Dunfermline's Barbara Dixon, who carved a great career.
I could sit and talk to you for hours regarding folk music in the Dunfermline area, but I really would like to see your photo collection of the artists that you come in acquaintance with. But before we do that, your recording career has spanned 40 years as well. I picked up that Tregullion was, in the early days, was to go down to London and make a recording. Did that ever come off, John?
No. What happened was we made several tapes for Bill Leader and Nathan Joseph. They were to do with Leader Records, and we signed contracts and everything. But nothing ever happened. Quite frankly, I don't think we were good enough. You know, I think that was a bit of size.
Rocky Road never
we weren't good enough at that time. You know, we definitely weren't. But
in '75, you certainly were good enough with the Beggars Mantle, Kelly Band, and Davy Stewart.
That's right. That was actually 1976, and Davy Stewart and I recorded Shores of the Forth with a band which was Chuck Ritchie, the fiddler that I spoke to you about earlier, and who did we have on the accordion? Oh, Jockey Mullen from Kelty, who had on the accordion, and Robin McKidd playing bass, and Brian Miller playing guitar and mandolin and that, and we recorded that over 2 days up in two farm cottages up in Balcanco, and we didn't do it in the studio. We did it, as I say, in these cottages, and we mixed it physically because we had hired a mixer which Pete couldn't really work, and so we just mixed it physically by standing distances away from the microphone, and it was done on a Revox, and it was very heavy going doing it like that way, but it proved for us a really successful album. I mean, I think it ended up. It was for 2 years, you know, in the folk charts as, you know, a successful record, and it eventually sold over 10,000, which was really good for a folk album at the time. And then, of course, I haven't done anything until lately when I recorded Heroes with a 9-piece band, which Rab Noakes produced, and as you know, that's only been out about a month or so. But I was very happy with that.
Is there any plans for any more recordings?
No, because not at the moment, because I've been classed as a prolific writer, but I'm not that prolific, and I reckon with Heroes that has encompassed my writing, with the exception of a couple of the items, as a lot of stuff I've done over 20 or 30 years, and I need a catalyst to bang me to make me write something, and as I said on Travelling Folk the other week, that I don't really want to meet any more catalysts just now, because the thought of sitting down and writing stuff just sends me with terror, you know, and I want to be left alone for a while. I don't say I'll never do another album, but I would very much doubt it, because I think that Heroes is the compilation of you know, what I've been at and the kind of things I've been writing about, and in my estimation, what are the good songs, you know, the ones about Dunfermline and Buffalo Bill and the Spanish one, Out for Night, and these sort of things. And I think it would be a long time before I could write anything as good as that again.
You've done so much. I mean, to many people, I've just introduced you as a singer-songwriter, but you're responsible in starting a lot of the folk festivals, the traditional music of Scotland, which you were involved in for many years, and of course lecturers. But there was another project that happened in 1999, I'm led to believe, that brought in a new audience for you, John, when you started working with the children of the Fife area.
Yes, that was through the New Makers Trust, which of course was instigated by Gifford Lind, and it didn't so much as bring a new audience. It just brought another perspective into what I was doing. Like I was working in Cowdenbeath school there, and that was to interest the children in writing songs. And then, of course, there was singer-songwriters put into all the schools, and that album that Gifford Lind brought out was the culmination of all that, and it was a marvellous idea. But as far as I was concerned myself, it didn't bring in any new audience, because I mean, for a start, the kids are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and whether they will continue to be interested in folk music or writing their own songs, that's a different kettle of fish. Only time will tell, you know. So it hasn't actually brought in a new audience. It's very much in the air what's going to happen.
Well, as I say, we could sit and talk to John for hours about folk music, but I do wonder what would ever happened if John had taken up bowls instead of his interest in folk music way back in the 60s. John, as always, it's been a pleasure, and thanks once again for your continued support.
Well, of course I play bowls as well.